like K-Rock was playing a lot of adult
Yeah.
songs. It seems like 1985 was the year that alt rock kind of grew up, because all of a sudden, we got Phil Collins and we're playing Mr. Broken Wings, uh, which was, I mean, it was a number one smash. It was number one for a couple weeks in 1985. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you guys all over this as well?
We didn't really play it at LIR because at that point we had to make a musical decision. The way Dennis always said it was that if you have two legs on two skates and the skates are starting to drift apart, at some point you have to make a decision musically which path you're going to take.
Yeah.
I mean, we love the song. If you think about it, Richard Page was the lead singer and the bass player of the band. He was also a session musician for Quincy Jones, right? And this is a band that was formed in Phoenix. They moved to Los Angeles. And they also wrote songs, for Michael Jackson and Rick Springfield and Donna Summer and Kenny Loggins and Al Jarreau. And that wasn't the musical direction I think LIR was going in that time. So as much as we love the song, I think it would have really turned a lot of heads if we had played it, as great of a song as it was, because that was not the musical direction that we were going. I mean, how do you put 80s Killing Joke next to Broken Wing?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make that. Yet there reaches a point when you're a music director and you're a program director, you got to make a hard choice. There was a hard choice I remember Dennis had to make because he was good friends with Billy Joel. And if you remember the song, Still Rock and Roll to Me, Billy wrote that song hoping that LIR would play it, because he goes, new wave dance craze, it's all rock and roll to me. And the same with Mr. and Broken Wings. But we just had to make a decision at that point. It was a gut check. And as great a song as it was, and I know KROQ played it, it was hard for us to play it on LIR in New York. I think we went out of revolution.
Yeah. What about, so going in the other direction, rap was huge. Def Jam, and that was New York based. Was LIR jumping on any like LL or Run DMC or any of that?
Great question, because yes, Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash. I mean, the Beastie Boys, we broke Cookie Puss. In fact, I did an interview with, I don't know if you realize that the Beastie Boys actually had a girl in the band. So there were really four of them, right? So, and I had all four in the studio. And I remember Rick was behind the board. He took the tape on me too. I don't have a recording of the Beastie Boys, but yeah, we were playing, we were playing Grandmaster Flash and Run DMC. We were mixing it in, and we were trying to do as best of a balance as we could in that time period through the 80s.
Yeah. And your audience, I guess, was accepting of that, because I know MTV was a little hesitant to add some of this music at first, and so nice to know that LIR was on it.
Well, if you think about a song like Rapture from Blondie, right? So how did they learn about rap? They learned by getting on the subway, going up to the Bronx and hanging out in Grandmaster Flash's apartment. By the way, Grandmaster Flash is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think in 2008, he got inducted. So if you think about the power of rap and how it was being developed and how it influenced a punk band like Blondie, that they changed their musical direction to go into that vein, all because they were influenced by one guy in the Bronx. And I think that speaks volumes. And we were gravitating to it because the clubs were gravitating to it. If the clubs were playing it, that was the difference between us playing Mr. and not playing Mr. Are they playing Mr. in the clubs? Is there a dance remix of it, right? Like Dancing in the Streets from Bruce Springsteen is an interesting experiment because he actually put out a dance mix of it, and we played it for like 24 hours and then realized, I don't think it's going to fly. But we tried, right? You can't, failing to try is failing to win. So we tried.